live on the air. I'm Richard Sales.
This is wild.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lounge Time. I'm your host, Rich Sale. And today, we have finally made it through a full regular season after Sunday night. Can you believe it? I mean, those of you that have been loyal since the first episode officially came out, kudos to you. Happy New Year. We start the new year with some exciting news. Obviously, we've got our big playoff episode coming next week. Highly anticipated. I'll be going over every matchup. I'll even not just do the wild card. I'm going to give you wild card, divisional, championship, and then Super Bowl Sunday next week. So all that you can look forward to next week. We're starting the new year 2023 with a bang, and that's how it's going to go down. We've got some more guests coming during this time of the playoffs. I'm not going to say who. I'm arranging some stuff out, but we are planning on getting some guests in for the playoffs and everything. So lots to look forward to in a good way. So again, here's how this is going to go for today. We got our final recapping with Rich of the regular season, okay? Today's is a little shorter because more teams are out, and obviously there's a few teams that are still left in the hunt, and we'll go through all the games of everybody that's still in the playoffs or is in. You know the point. But we'll go over that, and then we'll go over Week 18 picks. And then next week, we'll be going over just the playoff format that once the bracket's officially set, we'll pick it next week. And I'll have my playoff Super Bowl picks all lined up for next week. But we're starting off this year with a bang. Can't wait. So let's get right into it. Recapping with Rich, Week 17 edition. Starting off with the Cowboys and the Titans, Thursday night. Now, for those of you that probably did not know, most of the Titans starters were out, most notably Derrick Henry. Malik Willis did not start. Josh Dobbs, the third stringer, started. Jeffrey Simmons was out. I believe Amani Hooker was out. I think Bud Dupree was out. I'm going through the normal starters that were out. This game did not have any meaning in terms of the final outcome of the AFC South, so that's why those guys all didn't play, in case you guys didn't understand it, okay? Let's start with the Cowboys side of things. Dak was okay, 29 of 41 for 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. This is mostly against the Titans' second-string B-tier team, JV team on defense, and the fact that you looked all right against them makes me a little concerned about them going into the playoffs. Now, you do versus Washington with Sam Howell possibly starting. If you guys are still in a close game with them, I am getting greatly concerned for your game against Tampa. Okay? Now, again, I'm not announcing the picks until next week, but I will say this. If you guys struggle against Washington with Sam Howell, I'm starting to kind of think, is Dallas heading towards that same roller coaster or relapse that keeps going on every single year, where they always feel like there's a close game and then something in January just does these weird relapses where something happens all the time in the playoffs, something weird happens with them? Last year was penalties, and Dak forgot, the rule, of lining it up with the ball. We all know that, right? Okay? We can go back to other Dallas playoff memories, but I have family that's Cowboy fans watching this. I'm not doing this to torture them. No chance in hell. So I'm not doing that to them. Now, Zeke, 19 carries, 37 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb for 11 catches, 100 yards. Schultz, 7 catches, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. T.Y. Hilton, 4 for 50. Defense, 13 points allowed, 2 sacks, 10 quarterback hits. Parsons had a fumble recovery. Wright had an INT. Some early missed opportunities with the fumble, INT. They were able to recover, be able to pull out ahead in the second half, and were able to win the game. 8 of 13 on third down, that's great. 3 turnovers, that's a little sloppy on the road. Again, you're going at some point on the road in Philly unless the Eagles somehow choke to the Giants and Dallas wins at Washington. That's the only time Dallas will be home, just to explain things. But Cowboys are most likely going on the road. Now, you're going to have to probably go in Philly and San Francisco, maybe in the second round. Well, you're going in Tampa, okay? So you're going to have to learn how to win on the road in ways where things might not be always the easiest of outcomes. So if things get tough, you can't just fold. And I'm not saying Dallas is going to fold, but this was an ugly one on the road. Weather played a factor a little bit with the rain. I'll give them that. But 3 turnovers against the Titans' JV defense, little concerned about them going also at Washington. Which brings me to the Titans. Josh Dobbs was okay, 20 of 39 for 232, touchdown and INT. Run game had a good showing, 4 yards per carry. Burks, 4 catches, 66 yards. Woods, 5 catches, 39 yards and a touchdown. Defense, 27 points allowed, 1 sack. Tart had a fumble recovery. Byard, 2 picks. But they had some turnovers in the second half where the game started to slip out of hand for them. Fumble, INT, turnover on downs. 7 of 16 on third down, that's pretty good. 1 of 3 in the red zone. 2-score game. It's hard. It's a lot to ask when most of your starters are out. 10 penalties for 124 yards. That's a lot. I don't care who's out. That's a lot. 2 turnovers. Win or go home in the AFC South. Winner take all against Jacksonville. Should be interesting to see how that looks. Okay. Bears and Lions. Jared Goff, 21 of 29, 255 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pretty good game, but it's the Bears. Jamal Williams, 22 carries, 144 yards, and a touchdown. It's nice. DeAndre Swift, 11 catches, 11 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown in the backfield. He had a really good day. Lions got a nice 1-2 at running back, and then they got receivers to spread the ball around. Amon-Ra, 4 catches, 62 yards. Wright, 2 receiving touchdowns. Defense had a much better showing than last week. 10 points allowed, 7 sacks, 9 quarterback hits. Aiden Hutchinson had a fumble recovery and an INT. James Houston had 3 sacks. Josh Pascal had 2 sacks. They had the 1 turnover on downs as the missed opportunity. 4-12 on third down. Could be better. 6 penalties. And this wasn't a typo. I actually looked this up. This last thing I'm going to say. 9.1 yards per rush allowed. Now, again, I know the Bears run a complex quarterback run scheme on offense, but 9.1 yards per rush allowed. That is alarmingly bad considering who you're playing Sunday night. Okay? You're playing a team that has a 2-headed rushing attack, and they're looking at what Chicago just did, 9.1 rush yards allowed in the game last week. Wow. A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, they're going to be like, good, 20 carries each for us. Broncos and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 29 of 42, 328 yards, 3 touchdowns, a pick. He was all right. Pacheco had a rushing touchdown. Tony, 4 catches, 71 yards. McKinnon, 2 receiving touchdowns out of the backfield. Blake Bell had a receiving touchdown. Defense, 24 points allowed. 4 sacks. Fumble recovery. L'Jarius Sneed had a pick. Had the INT and missed field goal as the lone missed opportunities. 3 of 12 on third down. Not their best day, but they were able to hold on and win. That's what great teams do. 2 turnovers. Another 5 yards per rush allowed in this game. Teams that can run the ball are going to be dangerous in January because they'll be prepared for elements if they get called upon. We're in January. It's winter. Okay? And Kansas City, depending on who you play, Baltimore's going to run the ball with Dobbins. Okay? Chargers are not really a running team, but, Jacksonville can run with ETN. Okay? So Bengals can run with Mixon. You're going to get teams that are going to be able to run the ball. And if you can't stop the run in January, that's a problem. Okay? This was Denver averaging 5 yards per carry in this game. Imagine when you get teams with actually good running backs with good running games. Concerning. That's all I'll say. Miami against the Patriots. Watch this game. Teddy Bridgewater, Skylar Thompson. They were all right. Tyreek Hill had a 2-yard rushing touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 8 catches, 62 yards and a touchdown. Gesicki, 2 catches, 18 yards and a touchdown. Okay. Obviously they got in the end zone. That was really the 2 big drives they had going. Tyreek Hill, 4 catches, 55 yards. Waddle, 3 for 52. Defense had a pretty good game. 16 points allowed, 3 sacks, 0 takeaways. Miami just left a lot of missed opportunities. I think in the second half, most of them happened. Missed field goal they had. INT for a touchdown. INT, turnover on downs. I think 3 of them happened in a row. I don't think all 4 happened in a row. I could be wrong, but when I was doing the notes, I know 3 of them happened in a row when watching the game live. 4 for 14 on third down. Could be better. 9 penalties for 71 yards, 2 turnovers. And Skylar Thompson starting for your playoff lives against the Jets. Did I not say to you guys that your second half stretch with the Niners to here was going to be brutal? Of course I did. Not just saying it just because I don't like the Dolphins and all that stuff. I knew it. Because I knew 2 against good teams wasn't great. And just, they got to go to the cold. Sometimes East Coast, West Coast, and then West Coast back to East Coast. Just, like I said, they had a bad schedule at a bad time, and that's why I said they're going to be falling down, and a loss, they're out. So, Miami comes down to the Jets. So, which brings me to my Patriots. Mac Jones, 20 of 33, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good. Didn't turn the ball over. That's a plus. Run game, Tyquan Thornton, 3 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty good. Myers, 6 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Okay, good stuff. Henry, 5 catches, 52 yards. Defense held Miami to 21. They did have a garbage time touchdown late to make it closer than the score was. They did get 2 sacks, 2 INTs. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Kyle Duggar should be a Pro Bowl safety this year. He should be. Okay? How he wasn't, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know how pro voting works anymore. It's more of a fan voting, I guess. But 39-yard pick 6 this game. He's been having a Pro Bowl year. Okay? He has. The 1 turnover on downs was the lone missed opportunity. That was late in the game. I was shocked they didn't kick the field goal, but it is what it is. 5 of 13 on third down. Not bad. 6 penalties could be cleaned up a little bit. Winning in scenario. Monday night. I mean, not Monday night. Sunday afternoon at 1. Yeah, in Buffalo. Tall task. Especially with the positive updates the Bills just got on DeMar Hamlin. So, by the way, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. We are praying up for a speedy recovery for DeMar Hamlin. Glad the positive results keep coming in. He's been able to speak with the team through writing, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, I think it's through writing, but just giving you guys the latest update on that for those of you that would like an update. But prayers up for a speedy recovery. Hope, things keep going on a positive way because the last couple of days, everything's been trending up. So prayers up for DeMar Hamlin, wishing for a speedy recovery. Colts and the Giants. Daniel Jones, 19 of 24, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. 11 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. It's the Colts, but I didn't expect it, but it was impressive, but it was the Colts. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but it was a good game. That's all. Run game 8. Richie James, 7 catches, 76 yards and a touchdown. Hodgins, 4 for 42 and a touchdown. Defense, 10 points allowed, 2 sacks. Landon Collins had a 52-yard pick six. They had a fumble, turnover on downs as the low missed opportunities. It was a blowout anyway. 4-7 on third down. That's great. 1 turnover, 4.7 yards per carry. I mean, it's the Colts, and they didn't really run the ball because they were mostly trailing from behind, and they couldn't really get much offense going. Is it a little big deal? A little, but again, you're probably versing Minnesota, who can run the ball with Dalvin Cook, who had pretty good success in the game before. So, a little concerning, but not something crazy, So, again, just notes to keep an eye on. Saints-Eagles. Gardner Minshew was okay. 18 of 32, 274 yards, touchdown and INT. Sanders, 12 carries, 61 yards. Nobody else could get it going for them outside of Sanders, which shows how big Jalen Hurts is for them not being in the offense. He is supposed to come back, though, Sunday. Devontae Smith, 9 catches, 115 yards. A.J. Brown, 4 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. O-line, 6 sacks allowed. Wow. Just when some idiot thought the Eagles would be better off without Jalen Hurts and that they would still be good. Are you sure you want to say this after this game? 6 sacks allowed. They had really no other guy that could get the running game going outside of Sanders. I know A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith had numbers and stuff, but they're also not scoring. Jalen Hurts' mobility on the run-pass option is what made their offense so explosive. Now that element's gone, it's just handoff or pass. And they know Minshew, they're not afraid of him like they are of Hurts. Yeah, Chris Sims, hold the L on this one. Defense, 20 points allowed, 7 sacks. Scott had an INT. Turnover on downs, INT for touchdown. Turnover on downs. Sloppy game for the Eagles at home. Missed opportunity to clinch the 1 seed. Now, again, it's a win and in for the 1 seed on Sunday. 3 of 12 on third down, not great. Terrible, actually. 8 penalties, 6 yards per pass. Andy Dalton went 20 of 24 against them. 20 of 24. I mean, okay, since they lost Jalen Hurts, they made Dak Prescott look okay, and Andy Dalton looked pretty good against them. And are the Giants even going to play their starters with nothing to play for? Are they going to make, I don't even know, Tyrod Taylor, are they going to make him look good? I don't think they will, but this is alarming if you're the Eagles. This is alarming. They want that 1 seed, but they look not the same team that we saw for 3/4 of the season. Panthers and the Bucks. Tom Brady, 34-45, 432 yards, 3 touchdowns, plus a rushing touchdown. Never count him out. Never count him out. All right. Mike Evans, 10 catches, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. Godwin, 9 for 120. Finally, big Mike Evans game. Godwin's been getting going. They just need reps. They need rhythm. Tampa's playing their starters. Tom's playing. Just an FYI for you guys. O-line, 3 sacks allowed. A little concerning. Defense, 24 points allowed. 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, an INT. Some early missed opportunities. Fumble, missed field goal, blocked field goal. Then the touchdowns all caught fire out of nowhere from Mike Evans. 4 for 15 on third down. Not that great. 1 of 3 in the red zone. 8 penalties. 8.4 yards per pass to Sam Darnold. Tampa, you guys have some names on that front 7, and that back end's just all right. You're playing elite quarterback playing the playoffs. Jalen Hurts. Prescott in the first round, maybe. Okay. Again, you guys are going to have to be able to hold up in the passing game on defense. Get some takeaways, which they were able to get takeaways, but the passing game, Sam Darnold lit you guys up. That's concerning. Dak, Jalen Hurts, they could light you up if you get them in the playoffs, which you're definitely getting Dak in them, but possibly Philly if you make it out of the first round. Jaguars and the Texans. Trevor Lawrence was okay. Travis Etienne Jr., 9 carries, 108 yards, touchdown. JaMychal Hasty, Connor, rushing touchdown each. Marvin Jones, 6 catches, 61 yards. Defense, 3 points allowed. 2 sacks, 12 quarterback hits. Tyson Campbell had a fumble recovery for touchdown. 2 INTs being the lone missed opportunities, but it was a blowout. They were able to, recover through it. 4-12 on third down. Not really that great. 2 turnovers. Like, if you guys are wondering why we're going so fast at the recaps, most of these teams are out or are basically locked up. So just trying to go right through these. So apologize if I'm going so fast, but really most teams are either clinched or we're just going over basically whoever's still alive. Niners and Las Vegas Raiders. Niners defense, thank you for selling in the most important fantasy match I had last week. Okay. Minus 3 points to Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham. Really? You sold me last week of the season. Not cool. Brock Purdy was okay. 22 of 35. 284 yards. 2 touchdowns. INT. He was all right. I didn't like the one throw he forced to Kittle because it was like right over his head and the safety was like right there. Okay. And I'm saying no, because I knew it was going to sail over Kittle's head. And I had Kittle in fantasy, and he did pretty good, but that catch would have been huge for me. McCaffrey, 19 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown. Mason had a rushing touchdown. Ayuk, 9 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Kittle had a receiving touchdown, like I mentioned. Like I said, the defense sold. But they were able to win, but they had a really bad game. 34 points allowed, 0 sacks, 2 INTs. Then they had INT and missed field goals or low missed opportunities. 4 of 8 on third down, that's really good. 4-6 in the red zone. Little shaky on the road. Could be worked on. Shanahan's working on that, I bet, today during the red zone area since it's Friday practice. 9 penalties, 71 yards, 10.7 yards per pass. Is it a big deal? No, but it's somewhat of a mid-deal. Let's put it that way. Jarrett Stidham, 10.7 yards per pass. Jarrett Stidham, guys. I mean, you're versing maybe you're right now the 2 seed. Could be a 3 versing the Giants. I mean, you're playing Daniel Jones, maybe Aaron Rodgers, okay, with maybe Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott in the second round. I mean, if you're giving up that to Jarrett Stidham, that's concerning, somewhat. But I think they'll be fine when the playoffs start. But I did not like the look of this game at all. I did not like the look of this game at all for that. Jets and the Seahawks. Geno Smith, 18-29, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good game against a really good defense. Kenneth Walker III, 23 carries, 133 yards. Nice game against a stout defense. Parkinson, Mallory had a receiving touchdown each. Offensive line, 4 sacks allowed. Shaky going into the Rams, but no Aaron Donald, so maybe not that concerning. But defense, 6 points allowed, 4 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 10 quarterback hits, 2 INTs. Big bounce back game, but it's Mike White and the Jets. I did pick Seattle money line on the huge guarantee it's to last week. So I'm not surprised by this. Missed field goal, turnover on downs. I mean, that they blew up. It was not a blowout. It was 23-6, but it was basically late in the game when it was a pretty sizable lead. 5 of 15 on third down. 2 of 5 in the red zone could be better. I'll go over all the scenarios in a minute as soon as we're done with the recaps. But Seattle, nice bounce back win. Now, with a win and some help, you can get in. Vikings and the Packers. Watch this game. Kirk Cousins was horrible. He was horrible, okay? 18-31, 205 yards, touchdown, 3 picks. Running game, Naylor, Osborne, touchdown each. Defense had a bad game too. 27 points allowed, 1 sack. So many missed opportunities for the Vikings. INT for touchdown. Missed field goal, INT. Missed field goal, fumble, INT. Just a bad day at the office, okay? That was bad. I had a friend of mine text me. That was a bad way to lose. I said, you just ran into a team that's on fire and dangerous right now. And it was just wrong place, wrong time, man. That's what I told him. Shout out to my buddy Kyle. But yeah, bad day at the office for the Vikings. 5 of 12 on third down. Not terrible, but not really that great. 1 of 3 in the red zone. It was a blowout, but stuff to work on for them. 6 penalties, 4 turnovers. Burn the game tape, maybe. Burn the game tape. That's what I would say. That's what I would do if I'm Kevin O'Connell. Which brings me to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers was okay. Didn't have really his greatest statistical game. Sorry, I don't sound really great, but it's okay. We're still going strong. Rodgers was okay. Jones, 14 carries, 111 yards. Dillon had a rushing touchdown. Tanyan, 3 catches, 52 yards and a touchdown. Defense, 17 points allowed, 2 sacks, 3 INTs. They played their best game, arguably, this season, you could argue. Nixon had a 105-yard kickoff return for touchdown. Darnell Savage had a 75-yard pick 6. They had the block punt, turnover on downs early as a missed opportunity, turnover on downs. They were able to just still pull away and dominate. 7 of 12 on third downs, great. Win and in Green Bay. You control your own destiny. Home playoff game, essentially. Sunday Night Football against your arch rival. Couldn't ask for anything better if you're them. From 4-8 to 8-8, and 1 more win, and you're in. Steelers and the Ravens. Kenny Pickett stepped up when he had to. Watch this game a little bit. Najee Harris, 22 carries, 111 yards. Ran the ball pretty well against them. Receiving touchdown to give them the lead. Jalen Warren, 12 carries, 76 yards. Defense had 1 sack, 13 points allowed. When they play really good, they give them a chance. It's just, can the offense deliver enough? Minka had an INT. Missed field goal was a low missed opportunity. 10 of 16 on third down. Great. That is great. Especially on the road against your arch rival. Huge deal. Huge deal. 1 of 3 in the red zone. 6 penalties. Pittsburgh needs a win and some help. Again, they'll be, I'm sure that, somebody will be keeping an eye on the 2 other games, but big win for Pittsburgh. And considering where they were in the middle of the season, no way that I thought they would be in the playoff hunt last week of the year. No way. All right? I was saying it's going to be Tomlin's first losing season, and if he wins, they still avoid that. But they got the Browns. Browns have been playing tough lately. Should be interesting. It's in Pitt, though. Which brings me to the Ravens. Tyler Huntley, I don't think he's really all that. J.K. Dobbins, 17 carries, 93 yards. He's been really good since the injury and since he came back. Mark Andrews, 9 catches, 100 yards. 9 catches, 100 yards. Isaiah Likely had a receiving touchdown. Defense played great. 16 points allowed, 2 sacks. They had the INT. 5 of 12 on third down. The INT is a missed opportunity. 1 of 2 in the red zone. 3-point game. You lost by 3. Had the 1 turnover. Baltimore, you guys look shaky lately. And I know you got a chance to somehow maybe have a matchup with Cincy at a neutral site. But I don't think they look good at all the last couple weeks. I think whoever they get, I think they're going to be out in the first round. But if Lamar Jackson comes back, let's say. But I don't know how it looked on the sideline Lamar's healthy. But again, is he sitting out because of his contract, or is he really still hurt? Because the footage I see him on the sideline, he's smiling, he's all having fun, and he looks fine. But Harbaugh is pissed about something. I don't know if you watched the press conference, but Harbaugh looks pissed, and he looks like he needs some sleep. Okay? Boy. All right, guys. So that's the final recapping with Rich of the regular season. For those that have made it this far, kudos. We talked about you the whole regular season. Now it's can you get into the playoffs, and yeah, that's what we got to talk about now. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Before we get into the my Week 18 picks, let me go through the playoff scenarios that just came out today because the Bills-Bengals was resulted in a no contest. All right, so I'm going to go through the AFC first, then the NFC, and then we'll get right into the Week 18 picks. All right, so I'm going to walk through the scenarios slowly. Okay, if the Chiefs win, they get the number 1 seed. Okay, or if the Bills lose to the Patriots. Okay. The Bills can clinch the 1 seed with a win against the Patriots plus a Chiefs loss Saturday to the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay? That's how the Bills can get the 1 seed. All right? Chiefs, all they have to do is win, or Bills have to lose to the Patriots. Okay? For them to get the 1 seed. All right? Cincinnati, they need a win plus the Bills to lose to the Patriots for them to clinch the 2 seed. Now, the neutral site would only apply if 2 of these 3 teams met in the playoffs. Okay? So let's say if Cincinnati beats Buffalo, that game will be at a neutral site. Okay? Now, there's also scenarios that, if Bills and Chiefs both win, Bills-Chiefs AFC Championship will be at a neutral site. Okay? All those scenarios, plus if, the Bills and Chiefs both lose and Bengals win, that, Bills, Kansas City versus Cincinnati AFC Championship game will be neutral. I'm sure you guys have all seen the scenarios, but trying to explain it to you guys now, I know it's complicating, but try to explain it in the best way I can for you guys. So, long story short, Chiefs win, they get the 1 seed. Bills lose to the Patriots, Chiefs get the 1 seed. Bills beat the Patriots and Chiefs lose to the Raiders. Bills get the 1 seed. Okay? Cincinnati wins and Bills lose to the Patriots. Cincinnati gets the 2 seed. Okay? If the 2 of the 3 meet in the playoffs sometime, that game will be at a neutral site. Okay? And then, obviously, if they both win or if they both lose and Cincy wins, then that AFC Championship game will still be played at a neutral site between those 3 teams. Like I said, it only applies to Kansas City, Buffalo, and Cincinnati, the neutral site, okay, for an AFC Championship. or if they meet in the playoffs. Clear? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. All right. So those are regarding those top 3 seeds. Just want to make sure I got that out of the way. Jacksonville, Tennessee, winner takes the South. Winner clinches the South. Jacksonville clinches with a win plus... No, wait. Hold on. Jacksonville clinches if New England, Pittsburgh, and Miami all lose. Okay? That's how I believe they would get the 7th seed, according to my knowledge. All right? So that's what I know there. Now let's get to the wild cards. Chargers are trying to play basically for the 5 seed, but they're clinched. Ravens can't clinch the North, but if they win, then that game between Ravens-Bengals and a possible playoff would be a coin flip to determine where that game will be played. Again, that could be a neutral site if the Ravens and Bengals met in the playoffs. All right. Then you have the 7th seed, which is really what the AFC is coming down to at the moment. New England beats the Bills, they are in. Or if Miami and Pittsburgh and Jacksonville win. Okay? I'm going to say it again. If New England beats the Bills, they're in. Or Steelers have to lose, Dolphins have to lose, and Jaguars have to win. Okay? Those are the only 2 scenarios the Patriots can make the playoffs in. All right? Miami can get in with a win plus a Patriots loss. Okay? Steelers can get in with a win plus a Miami loss and a New England loss. Okay? That's the AFC. All right? Eagles clinch the NFC East with a win or a Dallas loss. Eagles clinch the home field advantage with a win or a Niners plus Dallas loss. Okay? San Francisco clinches the 1 seed with a win plus a Philly loss. Possibly a Dallas loss, I think. Dallas clinches the East with a win plus an Eagles loss. Dallas clinches the 1 seed with a win plus Eagles loss plus Niners loss. Okay? Vikings can't get the 1 seed. So they're basically playing for 2 or 3. Tampa's clinched. Giants clinched. All right, here we go. The NFC 7th seed. Ready? So, Seattle, if they win plus Green Bay loses, Seattle would make it in as a 7th seed. Okay? So, Seattle gets in with a win plus a Green Bay loss. Okay? Detroit gets in, the 7th seed, if they beat Green Bay and Seattle loses to the Rams. Green Bay gets the 7th seed if they win. Okay? So we see how that all falls into play? All right. Worst comes to worst, if I didn't answer your questions really quite the greatest, just look up NFL Playoff Clinching Scenarios. They're all out. You can find them on ESPN, NFL.com. You'll be fine. All right? All right. So let's get into the Week 18 picks. Lightning fast, we're going to go. Starting with tomorrow night. Chiefs against the Las Vegas Raiders. Jarrett Stidham lit up the Niners, and the Chiefs have a far worse defense, in my opinion. Set on guarantee it's take the over. I am going with the Chiefs 38-24 over the Las Vegas Raiders. I just don't see a scenario in which Vegas upsets Mahomes and the Chiefs. I just don't see it. So give me Kansas City 38-24 over the Las Vegas Raiders. Jaguars and the Titans. Well, Jacksonville, I am using a blockbuster rental on you guys for 1 day, okay? It's a sarcastic joke, but I told my cousin that once I saw the scenario Sunday night. But yes, Jags, I'm using my 1 day blockbuster rental on you guys Saturday night. I'm going with the Jags 27-13. Dobbs is starting for the Titans. Jacksonville, they've been rolling since, 3-7 or whatever. Give me Jacksonville 27-13 over the Titans. Bucks and the Falcons. I don't get this line. I don't know why Atlanta's favored by 4. Tampa's playing their starters, so I don't know why that line smells to me. But I would have took Tampa on guarantee it's, but I don't know how much I know they're going to want to get rhythm and reps and stuff like that, but I don't know how much they're going to be like wanting to make a statement. Maybe that's why I didn't take the +4. But I'm going to take Tampa 24-20 over Atlanta. Bills against the Patriots. Now, I'm conflicted, all right? Because I want my Patriots to get in. Do I think we will? Hell no. But I want them to get in as a fan, but I just don't see it. We blew so many games this year. 5 games I'm going to look back on. I'll say them real quick. Baltimore, at Green Bay, at Minnesota, at Vegas, Cincy, and you can throw the Bears in because that was a bad game too, but that was a blowout. I really throw the 5 close losses in because close games decide a team like this when you're so close to the playoffs. Those 5 games are going to be looking back on. But the Bills, with all the good things they've heard now about DeMar Hamlin, I feel like they're going to come out and I feel like we're going to get annihilated. But I hope I'm wrong. As a Patriot fan, I just don't see it. Okay? So give me Buffalo 30-13 over the Patriots. Vikings and the Bears. Fields is not playing. So I'm going Vikings 27-10 easily. All right? I know the Vikings look horrible, but this is a game where they can maybe cover up some of their wounds from the Packer game. But I don't know if they can cover up everything because it is Chicago they're playing without Fields. So give me the Vikings 27-10 over the Bears. Bengals, Ravens. Burrow, the line keeps going up. I think the Bengals will beat the Ravens convincingly. I think the Ravens are trending downward. Cincy is on an upward spiral. Give me Cincy 28-17 over Baltimore. I like them against the Ravens. I just don't think the Ravens are heading in a good spot going into the playoffs. And I think Cincy's heading in a very good spot for them. Texans, Colts. Not interested in this game. We're just going to go quick with the pick. 13-10 Texans over the Colts. There you go, America. Jets in Miami. Skylar Thompson versus Joe Flacco. I don't love this, but weird shit happens, right? Can my Patriots hopefully get on the right side of things one time? Hopefully. But I'm going with Flacco and the Jets over Miami. I'm going Jets 16, Miami 13. Just because I don't want the Dolphins to get in. Okay? So, I'm going Jets 16, Miami 13. Panthers Saints. Not interested in this game. But give me Carolina 20-17 over the Saints. Carolina's been much better since around the time Matt Rule got fired, and they've been playing competitive, and they found some things they can build on for next season. But I just think Sam Darnold, to me, and Panthers, I would trust way more than Andy Dalton right now. So I'll take Carolina 20-17 over the Saints. Steelers Browns. Sneaky good game of the week. All right, this game. Joey has been here on Lounge Time before. All right, I had him on early in the year. Okay, he's rooting against me this week. I'm rooting against him this week. Okay, I am rooting for Cleveland for the record, but I'm not mad if his team gets in. I texted him on the side. All right, but I just, the more and more I'm thinking, I want to take Cleveland for the upset. The more I'm saying, can the Browns really do it without? I mean, Clowney's out, but I just don't know if I could go there. So give me Pitt 23-20 over Cleveland. I want to pick the Browns, but I don't know. I know Cleveland's been pulling upsets against Washington and the Ravens, but you never know, man. You never know. Hopefully, we end up on the right side of things, and even if we lose to the Bills, hopefully the Browns and the Jets can pull it off. But I'm asking 2 tough franchises to pull off wins that they wouldn't even expect. Chargers and Broncos. Denver's on an interim coach. Chargers are basically trying to fight for a 5 seed. So I'm going Chargers 26, Broncos 9. Eagles, Giants. Are the Giants really playing their starters with nothing to play for? I'm going to assume that they're not. So Jalen Hurts is coming back for Philly. So give me the Eagles 30, the Giants 10. Niners, Cardinals. Cardinals are probably still on David Blau as their fourth-string quarterback. Niners trying to fight for the 2 seed, possibly the 1. Defense will be much better, I think, for them. So give me the Niners 33, Cardinals 17. Seahawks and Los Angeles Rams. Baker Mayfield's been playing better, but the Rams just have so many injuries, and Seattle's playing at home. But Bobby Wagner's got a lot of emotions because Seattle gave up on him, so might make the game a little close. So I'm going Seattle 27, Rams 20. Cowboys Commanders, Sam Howell starting. Dallas should win by at least 10, but again, is this game going to be close? Is Dallas going to be able to put their foot on the gas and look like the old selves that we've seen them at times? Or are they just going to not take him seriously and just get ready for the playoffs? I don't know, but give me the Cowboys 26, Commanders 13. Packers Lions. All right. I'm going to go with the Pack. I feel like they're red hot. I'm going with the Packers. I feel like Detroit can score, but their run defense is suspect. I'm not sold on their defense in general. Packers are dangerous. They're red hot. I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers. I just don't see the Lions any scenario how they go into Green Bay and win. So give me the Packers 31, the Lions 27. All right. So those are the Week 18 picks. And like I said, you can write them down. You can keep track of how I did all year. If you did, kudos to you. Again, just you can see how I did, whatever you want to do. All right. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button so that way you guys can get all the latest updates you need for the playoffs coming up, for any upcoming episodes we will have up until the end of the NFL season. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We will be back next week for the playoff edition where we're going to go over wild card, divisional, championship games, and the Super Bowl. So next week's going to be all playoff prediction show once we get the full bracket, once we know who's in. And then going down the line, we will say I'm supposed to have some guests on that, we can have so we can talk about the playoffs and stuff like that. So yeah, so pretty much that's that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Loudest Time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next week for the playoff edition of Loudest Time. Until then, I will see you guys next week, and I will see you guys next time on the next episode of Loudest Time. Have a good night, everyone.